Getting ready to go live. We are now live, everybody. Welcome. I'm hoping you're all here because this is an exciting night. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our Class 2025 Facebook Live session. Um, we're so excited that you're here to join us, and we're going to be looking at comments throughout the night. First of all, I'd like to introduce my esteemed guests. Of course, we have Building Principal Dr. Brian Swimke and Assistant Principal at South Campus, Jamie Solomon. Say hello, everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to talk about what the expectation is for your students to come in to Minooka High School, coming out of the junior high system, and just get into it and have a lot of fun. So without further ado, if I can get right here to my brand. All right. Welcome back, everybody. First of all, a couple things, little housekeeping notes. This will be archived on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. So if you miss anything or you want to come back and watch it again, always come back to our Facebook page or our YouTube page, and you'll be able to find it in the archive section. And then also, welcome again, and thank you for joining us. And if there are some students out there, hopefully we'll have some of those questions answered for you and kind of calm some of the nerves and the anxieties and anything like that. So without further ado, let's get out some questions here, and we'll be here for the next 15 to 20, 25 minutes like that. So let's start off with Dr. Swimke. First question of the night. Please share what that MCHS experience is going to be like for those incoming freshmen class of 2025. What kind of things they can expect and look forward to when they get there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Edwards. It's a privilege to be here talking with you guys and Ms. Solomon. We're really excited for the class of 2025 to join us in August of next school year. We got a long journey to get there. We've really already started that with our great school counselors. And as they get here, they're really going to enjoy their high school experience. We have a really rigorous course selection, great opportunities for them to be a part of. And along that way and along that path, they're going to have lots of questions. Going to high school is a big deal. There's a lot of things along the way to make sure that they're ready for. So we have from January 27th all the way till mid-August, and we'll be ready for them.
Ms. Solomon, I'm going to kick it right to you. This next question. Now you have a freshman at MCHS. Looking back, what are some of the things that maybe she was anxious about or nervous about going into freshman year, but then realized, wait a minute, that wasn't that big of a deal after all?
I think one of the things that she might have been a little bit nervous about is, we have 3 feeder middle schools that come in. We have students that come from Troy, from Channahon, and from Minooka. And, my daughter came from Channahon, which was kind of a smaller class size. And I think one of the things that she was nervous about is the size of MCHS and the size of the classes, and just being a little bit nervous about the number of students that are here. And she soon realized, though, coming into her classes, that students from Troy, students from Minooka, students from Channahon, from our private schools, they're all friendly, welcoming. She's met a lot of new friends, and I think that that's been really exciting for her.
Do you remember last January when we were bringing in the class of 2024, and we're all in the gym, and we had the parents went up into the bleachers. And I said, your parents in the bleachers, kids down on the floor in chairs. And what do we have? 594 freshmen or whatever the number is. And so we're talking, we're kind of warming up the crowd. We're having a great time, getting excited. I think Brent was DJing. It was probably like Joy and Pain by, Rob Bass or I don't remember what you were playing, but it was fun. And we were talking about, I had them all close their eyes and put up in the air their like ranking to like on a scale of 1 to 5. Like 1, how nervous are you? about sending your child to high school. And like 1, like we're super cool, we're veterans of this, we know what we're doing, and then 5, like we're freaking out, like we need to homeschool for the next 4 years. And it was a lot of like 3s and 4s. And then as we do that activity again with our kids in the future, you know, it always turns into, well, we're probably now a 1 or a 2 and they get ready. Well, this school year was so different that we couldn't bring our freshmen back in. And, you know, we did 50 at a time to walk their schedule and you know, virtual events, and Jamie and the rest of the team put together like a freshman experience week. And I tell that story because where you're at in June, you know, in January, you may be extremely anxious about the start of the school year for your child. We will meet you along the way and we'll do it. And even if we're still dealing with COVID, we're going to figure out a way to take care of your kids coming into the building. That's what we are all about here. That's what all of our teachers are about here. So what was that song? What was the song? Do you remember?
It was Tricky.
Yeah.
I think it was Run DMC. I don't know.
I think it was Tricky. Yeah. Now you remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so here's a one-off question for the both of you. Harken back. I'm a little older than both of you, but harken back to your freshman year. What was that like going into high school? What can you think about going, wow, that was really fun, or that was experience, you know, that was really cool or scary? Talk about a little personal experience there. Jamie.
You want me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my experience was a little bit different. I moved to a new school when I was a freshman. So I was extremely nervous about being the new kid in school. So I can totally relate to the kids that are coming here that maybe maybe you didn't live in Minooka or Channahon, you know, your whole life and you didn't grow up here. But I soon realized how exciting it was to meet new people and how, like what Dr. Zemke just said, how welcoming the staff were and how friendly everybody was, and everybody's willing to help out. So, you know, anybody from our student services team down to our campus monitors to our administration, same thing here. You know, adults are ready to help them. They're ready to help them with anything. So, so that was my experience in high school. But you soon realize that the people that are there are really willing to help you.
Dr. Swimke, one quick one.
Yeah, no, I was the new kid in school too. I didn't go to the schools that fed into that high school and went to a private school. I know if we'll have to do another Facebook Live for you to talk about how you were the homecoming king and the captain of the football team and the golf pro all in the same year. I'm looking forward to that one. Stay tuned.
No, actually, listen, when I was a freshman, for the first 3 weeks, I had a buddy do my combination lock, because I couldn't figure out the lock. But after about 2 or 3 weeks, I was able to figure out my locker combination, and it all just became very smooth and like second nature. Yeah. Don't worry about anything.
It's good.
Dr. Swimke, what would be the top 3 things that the freshman students should prepare for as they enter MCHS?
I think number 1 is just that their own social emotional health, to understand that they're going to be a part of something that's going to take care of them. So, you know, there's a level of anxiety and excitement that are normal. But along the way, you know, when you have questions, ask the questions. I think the other piece too is thinking about time management. They're actually getting pretty skilled at that in a remote and hybrid manner and learning the schedule. And then the final thing is, I think that they really have to think about organizational strategies. How do they organize themselves digitally? And then how do they organize themselves, you know, through paper as well too. So we are living in a digital world, and as well as a paper world. I had Material Girl in my head. But we are definitely living in a digital world, and they have to be able to manage that as well too. So those would be some skills that they could work on along the way.
Ms. Solomon, any additional points?
Yeah, so you know what, I actually asked my daughter this. You know, she's got a cousin who's coming in as an incoming freshman, and I said, what would you tell him? What does he need to be prepared for? And not only the things that, you know, Brian just mentioned, but also one of the things she said is, you know what floor you're on if you look at the color of the tiles. So I just want to add that out there, that when you come to South Campus, the color of the tiles changes on each floor. So that's how you know what floor you're on.
Do you know which ones are which?
Yes, the first floor is orange. The second
Right.
floor is kind of a grayish green, and the third floor is black.
Bravo.
Yep.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Also, everyone that's watching right now and listening in, you can also go to your Facebook, the post there, and type in any questions you want, and we'll try to answer them as we go along. Staying with you, Ms. Solomon, what would be the top 3 things they can expect to graduate with going out for the 4 years?
Well, I think one of the things that is really exciting that we offer here is I think they're going to be exposed to a variety of elective options. I think that every student that comes through here is going to find something in those electives that's going to interest them. Even looking at area schools, I think that we offer a lot more options for students with their interests. So my hope is that in the 4 years they find those interests with our elective options that we have. But also, I do hope that they leave here with the confidence for the next chapter in their life, whether that be college or career. I feel like our classes, our activities, our clubs, athletics, everything that we have to offer here is going to help pave that way for them, no matter what they want to do. If they want to graduate here and go into the workforce, great, we're going to prepare them for that. If they're going to go to a 4-year university, we're going to help prepare them for that as well.
Dr. Swimke, same question.
She literally said every word, like, because I see her reading what I prepared for her to say. No, the kids are going to be prepared. There's a lot for them in 21st century education. We're preparing them for jobs that may not exist right now. I know you went to school, Mr. Edwards, and you wanted to be a locksmith, and then the locker combination got you, so you had to change roles. Kids are going to come to school and somebody really thinks that they want to be something, and that may happen for them, and that's great, and we want to foster that. If somebody doesn't know the direction and the path, we want to foster that as well too. So kids are going to have a lot of agency and choice in their course selection. Throughout, they're going to have a lot of agency and choice in the way that they learn. They're seeing that right now as well too. So it's a great opportunity for them to be prepared for life after 18, life after they graduate, and they have a lot of exciting choices ahead of them, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, I went to school when everything was black and white, and I think back in the day I wanted to be a cobbler, and I had to switch my skills around. The cobbler's a shoe guy, right? Shoe repair guy. Anyway,
Brent, if we could focus tonight, there's
anybody out there know what a cobbler is? Put in the listing.
I don't know what a cobbler is. I know what a Keebler is.
That's an elf, I think.
Like an elf?
What's a cobbler?
It's a guy that works on shoes. A person that works on shoes, I think, back in the day. Okay, let's move on. Student services, very important. Student services and support is also a very important part of high school. Please share all the supports that students can find, albeit curricular support and social emotional support that we have to offer these students when they come in first. Ms. Solomon.
So we have a student services team here that includes our counselors, our social workers, and our deans. They're here to help students with any question that they want. Sometimes people think our deans are just there, for discipline issues, but our deans are there for students to come to ask any type of question as well. So they're supportive people who a student can go to and talk to about anything, whether that be an educational question that they have, a question about a course, or if they're dealing with something that they just need someone to listen to. But some of the other supports that we have is obviously our teachers, our teaching staff are available for our students when they need help on things. We also have labs, content area labs where students can go during their resource if they need some help. We have math and reading interventionists. We also have an academic resource center aide. So all of these individuals are available for students. And I would just encourage our students that at the first sign that you have a question or have something going on or need some help with something, make sure you go to one of those people and get some help, because they're here to help you and get you started on that right path if you're kind of veering off a little bit. So lots of supports that we have for our students in a variety of different academic areas, as well as social emotional.
Dr. Swimke, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, we really offer a multi-tiered system of supports here at the high school. So we know and recognize coming in, we're going to have students that are going to be extremely successful. We work very well with the junior highs, and we get to know the kids. We get to talk to teachers. We get to talk to the counselors. So we have a really good incoming transition plan for our freshmen. We know academically where they might be at, and from there, we think about things like who could benefit more. All of our freshmen have a resource period. During that time, they have an opportunity and access to math interventionists and English interventionists and science labs if they need it. I mean, there's so much support here for our kids on the academic side. On the social emotional side, we are very fortunate to have 2 social workers at the freshman sophomore campus, 3 counselors at the freshman sophomore campus. Kids know that they have the opportunity just to drop in. There's so many digital ways to get in touch with us as well too. And really, when you think about it, it really comes down to that personal adult advocate for our children. And what we pride ourselves on is having those really strong relationships with kids. And our freshman teachers are just experts at forming those relationships before they're even thinking about doing anything related to content.
Very nice. The support is just phenomenal at MCHS, both campuses. So very well received and easy to find if you need it. So reach out to a teacher, reach out to any support staff, and everything will be just fine.
Hey, I saw something in the comment that is hysterical. One of the parents saying that their incoming freshman thought a cobbler is a dessert, and I think that it could be like an apple cobbler. Is that a thing?
A blackberry,
Yeah.
Blackberry cobbler, I think is very good. Or
Peach
raspberry
cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
Yeah.
We should work with Quest Foods. Shout out Quest Foods. They're our food provider. They're great. Food tastes better here. We know, and we should like the dessert that first week should be cobblers.
Should be. But someone else said it is absolutely a shoemaker, so I think we're good. But I like the cobbler. I like blackberry cobbler.
Do you?
Yeah, just throwing that out.
Do you put ice cream on top of that?
Absolutely, 100%. You got to warm it up. Put the vanilla on there. I like vanilla.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, we just got some great news from IHSA this afternoon about sports and athletics. So let's talk a little bit about our 26 varsity athletic teams that we have, also our 52 clubs that are available to students that are coming in, how they may start one if they don't find one there. But anyone that walks in these doors can basically find a niche that they will fit into. So what makes our clubs and our athletics so unique and accessible, Dr. Swimke?
Well, I think number one is that they're student driven. They're about the kids. They're for the kids. Our coaches and sponsors, I think that sometimes they spend more time with the Minooka kids than their own families. At times, they are dedicated. They love imparting the wisdom and sharing the love of the game with the athletes. On the activity side, it's anything from National Honor Society to Spanish Club and Allies in Diversity and really anything in between that really is about a kid's passion, their own projects and what they're a part of. So Hillary Holden, who is our director of activities, and Bob Tyrrell, who is our athletic director, they are just great people first and foremost, and they put together events for kids with the help and support of their activity and assistant directors and their secretaries. Ann and Jerry are just quality people, and they do things for kids all the way through. So it's a great thing to be a part of. We'd love for our kids to be a part of clubs and activities. And here's the other cool thing too. In those 52 clubs, if there's something that we don't have, we'll make. And there's a whole process for that as well too. So that's a great part of the Minooka experience.
So, Ms. Solomon, when you were winning hurdling championships in your high school career, harken back to the days of athletics and club, what would you say about those?
I truly believe that there is something for every student here. Just like I was saying earlier, even surrounding districts, I feel like we have a lot to offer our kids. And when there are new clubs that students are interested in and they find a sponsor to help sponsor them for that, then there's another new club. So I wouldn't even hold us at 52. There could be 60 by next year. There could be 65 because kids are constantly finding new clubs that they're interested in. So we really do have something for everybody. I think the other thing to add to that is that I feel that our advisors that run those clubs, that run the coaches that do the sports and everything, they're so passionate about what they do. They love what they do, and they're really there for the kids. So I love to see that. I love to see their passion out on the field or during a club meeting, because they really do want to do a lot of things for the school and for the kids.
I'm excited about Dr. Swimke's breakdancing club coming through. Excited to see how he's going to do that tabletop. But Dr. Swimke, looking at the questions on the side, are there any questions that you'd like to bring forward or that we can answer? And if
lots of things about shoemakers, lots of things about cobblers, some questions about return to learn. We got some news coming out about that soon. No scoop in here tonight, and that's not an ice cream joke. Yeah, keep the questions coming. Hey, while the questions are coming in, Ms. Solomon, we're going to do this a few more times. What will be the areas of focus moving forward that we want to kind of key in on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, we want to try to do something at least on a monthly basis for our class of 2025, so that hopefully we can, get information out to you on things that you're interested in. So we are looking at anything from highlighting our elective courses. Normally during an incoming freshman night, we have the hallways filled with students and sponsors and teachers that are just wanting to show everybody how exciting their class is or how exciting their club is or their athletic team. So obviously we were not able to do that this year. So that's something we want to highlight and show our incoming freshmen that, we have all of these exciting things and how can we get that information out to you. And some of the other things that we want to do are for parents. We want, especially first-time high school parents, we want to make sure that they understand stuff like Power School and how to log on and how to find your students' teachers, how to email them, how to find their grades. So just some little, university type, sessions for parents so that we can get that information out to them on how they can stay connected, because they're a huge part. They're a huge part. The teacher, the parent, the student, we want to work all together. So, we'll highlight our athletics, our activities, our clubs, and then some electives. And then, like I said, look to do some other little things for parents as well so that they can be connected to the school.
Ms. Solomon, we had a kind of a numbers question that came in there. Roughly how many incoming freshmen will we be expecting?
Oh, our incoming freshman class this year is looking to be around 760.
We currently have 756 freshmen, so right on pace.
Yeah. Now, we are looking, because we have some private schools out there, so I know some parents are still deciding on that if they're going to, continue with a private school or come to MCHS. So that number does tend to grow. So I think we'll probably be closer to, 775 by the end of it.
Okay, so we're getting close to touching about the 25 minutes here. Just want to be cognizant of everybody's time. What last moment, that last nugget of wisdom would the two of you like to share to families and students who are watching that are coming in next year? Dr. Swim.
Well, I think the one thing that I would say is you've done this before. You've got your kids ready for a different transition point, and the big ones are, in your child's life have been, kindergarten and then into middle school and then into high school. And in each of those situations, you're putting an awful lot of trust into the next organization. And you've heard, good stories and stories that concern you and everything in between. I would say trust the process. There are people here who have dedicated their entire life to getting your child ready for their next stage, their next transition. They care about what they do. They are really good at what they do. We have an excellent team here. There's excellent ways for us to stay in contact with you. We will do everything from that traditional newsletter that will come out weekly. We'll hit you up on all the socials and everything in between. There is a wealth of information that comes out every day, every week here. So enjoy it, trust the process, ask a lot of questions. Those would be the biggest things that I would focus in on as that kind of final parting advice. How about you, Ms. Solomon?
Yeah, I agree with those things. The only thing that I would add is, find where you can get involved. Whether we're in, hybrid, remote, or back to in person, which I hope we all would love to be back in person by the fall. Even when we're in this hybrid and remote situation, kids are getting involved in things. So continue to stay involved and stay connected to the school.
Dr. Swimke, Ms. Solomon, thank you so much for your time, for being here tonight. Thank you for everyone who's out there watching and adding the questions. And just one more thing, that if we didn't answer your question tonight, perhaps we'll come back and answer them on a one-off, or I'm sure Dr. Swimke and Ms. Solomon will be ready to go tomorrow at a phone call perhaps, or an email, of course. But thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and we look forward to other ones on a monthly schedule. And just get excited, get ready to come in and have some fun.
Let's go.
Let's do it, everybody. So thank you so much and have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good night.